Oh my gosh. For the Pier 1839 stream? Oh, it's been 3 days. Actual days. It's been good. I'm doing well. I mean, I'm sure people are gonna come in and ask me. Maybe, we'll see. But we got some episode 3 breakdown. Yeah. That needs done. Okay. I've been alright. I've been doing pretty good. I just bought these I bought like the exclusive. Hi Eric 4333. We are breaking down episode 3. But yeah, I bought this Fallout Costco soda. This it came with like a Fallout like a Vault Tech bottle opener. And I had the Sunset Sarsaparilla. It was pretty good. I still have to have the Nuka Cola Quantum and the Nuka Cola Grape. I don't think I'm gonna be that crazy about it. I just wanted the sarsaparilla. I really like sarsaparilla. It's only okay sarsaparilla. The only good sarsaparilla is it's the one in the Big Lebowski. It's the sarsaparilla. This one, Sioux City. I love Sioux City sarsaparilla. I treat myself to it every time I see it at like a store or something. It's very delicious. I feel like I'm a big drinks guy. Like all kinds of drinks, like alcohol, like sodas, like I don't know, it's my shit. Hard cider, I also really like hard cider. I get a really good local hard cider here. But I kind of have to remember what happened. It's been 3 days and I kind of just forget. And I need to thumb through episode 27 a little bit just to like solve this whole Dr. Nanjo mystery. Oh, there's a cool. That's cool. I can't just download the stream VOD anymore. I have to actually start. So what happened? Okay, there was this whole scene with Jessica and Canon in Jessica's blindness. I love that. She searched around with her hands, trying to find some way to escape. It went unnoticed by the master he served. Yeah, and then there was this whole scene by Beatrice, which I kind of knew was crap. I never trusted Beatrice, and I feel so good that I didn't. Okay, maybe I was right in that Canon can remember, like, between the episodes. He basically didn't say anything. He just said he was in the room the whole time. Attacked, but refusing to explain because of the devil's proof. Oh, this was such a good dialogue. This is like one of the best scenes in the whole game as far as I'm concerned. I need objective proof as to why Kairi-san had a change of heart. Than food. Yeah. So it seems to me like the whole goal of episode 3, and I'm not really sure if I understand if it could be really translated into the other episodes, is like Beatrice is Ava this time, and I guess we need to prove that she did the murders. Wait, why does my stream look like this? Why does it have two? What? Oh, wait, there's a problem with my capture. Oh, wait, Ava's red web, that's right. Let me go to my red truths. I'm gonna need to get those open. Wait, this is part 3. We get a lot of these. Try to make sure I don't read any of the new ones. So we need to figure out how Nanjo could have died. Because here they confirm the deaths of everybody by the time Nanjo is shot. But they still are, like, the whole thing I'm not over yet, and the thing I remember being explicitly told, I think before this stream, it was, I think in this part, it was the whole idea that Ava Beatrice did not want to confirm that all three people, Hideyoshi, Kairi, and Rudolph, were dead by the time they were discovered by the rest of the family. However, it seems like between that time and now, they died. They're all dead because Rudolph's dead, Kairi's dead, and Hideyoshi's dead. So I think the question, I'm gonna write it down because I think it's an important question. Go to episode 3. I'm gonna actually do a new tab. I think it's Control Enter. Oh my gosh. All right, so post episode 3 questions and such. All right, so 1. Okay, is it possible that Hideyoshi, most likely Hideyoshi, Rudolph, Kairi were alive after being discovered by the rest of the family? Could they have in some way set up Joe's murder? Like, that seems like a very important detail to me. Oh wait, I just said that like 20 minutes ago. I think she weren't. I'm not really a big mystery guy. I'm usually the type of guy that like spoils the mystery like right away for myself, but I'm trying to like work on that. With this, I think the streaming content is better if I don't know what I'm doing at all. I've read some good books. I read House of Leaves, which is kind of, and I really like, and Disco Elysium is like my favorite. Like, it's not really a visual novel, but it's basically is. And Slay the Princess was like another really big visual novel for me. So I kind of have a little experience with the drama, but mystery isn't really my thing. This is my specialty. The second they bring up Occam's razor, it's over. Like, that's gonna be Battler's like biggest weapon is Occam's razor. This is less my specialty. However, for his sake. However, Kyrie's body did not answer. It was only natural that a corpse would remain silent. Dead men tell no tales. No dead person existed that would answer Beato, who had lost the endless magic. It's pointless. Onto something at least. Oh, this is such a good scene. Is that? I'm the one who was. Yoshi's dead. The red web. The culprit, nor an Okay, I guess I gotta have to write. Like, that's a question. I feel like if I don't even have any good theories, I think just getting my questions down is important in and of itself. Let's say Jessica I had another witch-like personality, which took the name. The cigarette. That was such a good dialogue scene. Honestly, this was like this whole like the whole ending of episode 3 was like some of my favorite Umineko yet. I'm still not over this. A small golden land. Like, what does that mean? I don't understand. You're being so thoroughly immobilized by the red. I don't have a clue anymore. And spiders keep coming up in the plot. I feel like it's interesting. Like there's this whole red web thing. There was Maria when she was not Maria, Rosa when she was being attacked by Ava Beatrice. And then there was back in episode 2, I think crazy stuff with those numbers. I don't think I'm going to go full like numerology conspiracy theorist with it. Battler said the forced. Hi Sid. Doing good. The letter to Maria always feels like such a like an important first step in like solving this mystery. I feel like I've overlooked it a little bit. Oh shit, whoops. Battler. I just need to keep reminding myself what happened. Seems like Ava killed Battler. Well, this time we saw her kill. We saw her shoot Battler. Which was freaking crazy. I kind of see it though. I'm trying to think about the Dr. Nanjo murder right now. Ushiramiya Battler acknowledges the existence of witches. And now, sign the written oath. Ow, ow, ow. Without love, it cannot be seen. What is that from? Damn it, let go. Come, you can no longer refuse to sign. Come on, look. I still have no idea what's going on in Virgilia. Sign it and off. Oh, that's worth a question of itself. This is kind of like an alternate translation of some of the lines in Umineko. Okay. What is the significance of Virgilia for the plot? I mean, it's all connected to like Dante's Inferno, but I didn't read I didn't read Dante's Inferno. God, I wish I had. I guess Battler is Dante. I mean, I know a TDLR. It's just like Dante and his buddy Virgil touring through hell, and they like it's a criticism of like Italian politics at the time, which were basically centered around the Italian city states, the like communal system that existed in Italy at the time, like the transitioning from like the feudal economy to like the that of the petit bourgeois. I mean, like, and then at the end, like Beatrice is like Dante's like love, like he loved her. I think it was like an unrequited love or something. And Virgilia is of course Virgil. and they go to hell. I don't know. Satan's at the bottom, freezing with like Brutus and Cassius or something. Why is my phone going off? Oh. What is the significance of Virgilia to the plot in Takumasawa? Is there any connection? Anything real here, or is this what Beatrice wants us to think? And then there's the whole thing. Oh, that's a cool Alec. Okay. And then there's this whole thing about, do the Cheester sisters represent some different method of murder? Like that's a big thing to me. Like I feel like it's like Winchester. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. It's a different method of murder. Offer your body. Get a rude toy like you. It's not fitting for my toy. She didn't say her name. That's me. Oh my god, it's so good. That's too deep. One here. When the person was in the bed. This whole scene was like the end of Squid Game or some shit. Even if someone told you that was so, she was unbelievably aged and worn. Well, I think it's interesting because. Oh, thank you. My. However, that was fortunately a needless. I forget. Did she like jump from the top? Was it like sick? Also, I liked how she did. It was so cool. This is some Shadow the Hedgehog ass shit. Unfreaking real. But oh god. I like how the second tea party is always like the witches' tea party. And it's basically about this conversation between Ava and Angie, who I guess is the final Beatrice, I think is what they called her. So I guess what I want to know is, this is an episode 4 question. It's like, what role will Angie play? Because I have no idea what's really like how it's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna be like she's like. It said she was like immune to Beatrice's magic because there's that difference in time. Still not over how Nanja could have died. Yeah, for me, it's more about like compiling the questions. And then there was that whole thing. We need to kind of, I guess, reprocess like that whole like Beatrice thing. I mean, my theories about Beatrice are kind of been like all over the freaking place. Do you know that Umineko has a reputation in the anime power scaling community? It does. None of the six people committed suicide. We know Nanjo didn't commit suicide. And we know the person that killed Nanjo walked right up to him and shot him. That's what she says. She says a weapon was readied and he was killed with it point blank range in front of him. The culprit appeared openly before Nanjo's eyes, and as they both looked at each other's faces, the culprit killed him. Absolutely no other humans participate in the game board. The one who killed Nanjo was definitely a human. This kind of means it's not a witch to me. A human with their feet on the ground. This is a particular line to me, feet on the ground. Beatrice is like a planetary tier eldritch being. That line, feet on the ground, is so odd to me. It's so specific. That's just so tricky to me. It doesn't say how far away the culprit was that killed them. Apparently she's super strong. What gave it away? Ooh, that's a good question, Sid. I'll put that down. I'll copy paste it. Oh, sweet, because I copy pasted it, it's not doing it right. It's hard for me because I didn't know when something was being specific or if it was a translation thing. Okay, so I should trust the translations a little more because I've been kind of like I've noticed issues with translation before. In like, why finding the gold not end the murders? If that was the condition for. At first, I considered the idea that I think I mentioned it. Maybe it was either last stream or the stream before that. I found it possible that maybe she never found the gold at all. All we do know is that whenever she did, yeah, I wonder if I can find when it happened. I think it's gonna say no. It's not shown in slop so good. It's gonna say. Wait, do I have two part 20? Wait. Oh no, I just used the same. I just used the exact same description two times in a row. Okay. Father, and all the servants have been found one after another. First, grandfather had been in the boiler room, completely burnt. Okay, this is where they do it. It's like it's a worthless, infantile game with riddles, like the ones. Did I write down that? The one, like the ones Maria. But I was writing about the gold. Riddles, worthless. The sweet fish part isn't very important. The gold is on these premises. The gold can be reached by crossing the rose garden in the direction. Probably the case. No, I have to heading from the guest house to the mansion. I should be able to figure that out immediately by searching the library. Ava was able to solve the mystery using some of Kinzo's gold. I think they mentioned the books were were not occult. Here, let me go forward. The normal books suitable for a normal study had been forced as his study. Using some of Kinzo's normal books in the library, in the guest house. That just seems important to me. Study overflow. Actually used like complete encyclopedia now I was investigating something. I entered softly, and just in case, I checked the room with my gun, ready, making sure that there was no suspicious people in here. What's the last note? Is that like an epilogue? She's gonna die. She just made the closed room. I can't believe that was an awful prediction I just made. I just said she was gonna die and she made a closed room. I really don't have any ideas for how Nanjo could have been killed. Before I realized it, I was half asleep just a moment ago, so I didn't realize how significant this thing I noticed was. But as I gradually became more aware, my heart started to feel like it was about to explode. I hate her. I wonder if any of the other siblings noticed this. So we know Rosa was able to solve the mystery too. I will say, in your reasoning, you made a false premise early on. I'm just not over the whole fact that they solve the riddle and then the thing doesn't end. Because here, I need to open Umineko right now so I can look at the tips. Here. Episode 2, actually episode 3 tips, I think, is gonna be good fine. So there be no misunderstanding. The game I seek is for everyone to try and solve the riddle, the epitaph, not for you to try and catch me. If you don't solve the riddle, the pitiful sacrifices will further increase in number. It would be wiser to spend your time solving the epitaph instead of searching for me. If no one can solve the riddle, no one will survive. If a person appears who can miraculously solve it, I will give them all the gold, the golden land, the Yoshiramiya family inheritance, and all of my power. Well, I guess what we have to like consider is like, at least what I'm considering is like, feel like it just means Beatrice won't kill you. Why would it end if it was Ava? Unless the person who wrote the witch's letter isn't Ava, and it's like Kinzo maybe. I'm still not sure how Ava could have even committed the first 6 murders. Because why would Ava even... Hmm. Why would Ava be able to... Unless she wanted to motivate them to help her solve the riddle. She didn't know it herself, but in that case... Why one killer? I'm not sure. There might have been a separate killer for this first 6. Like it might have just been somebody else. I don't know. What is this? I'm gonna go wash your hair. All right. Angie Beatrice. She's probably gonna give some Battler some massive tips. Eric Beatrice. Did I say that? Or did I say Angie Beatrice? I'm like losing my mind. I don't know what half the shit that comes out of my mouth is half the time. You could be Beatrice. I did never consider that. If you just put your mind to it, you can be anything you want to. That's so wholesome, guys. I forgot to put on some music. I usually put on music when I have these little... Hold up. I usually put on like the lo-fi girl. I usually put her on. Where is she? Ah, there she is. Halloween.
Sorry to interrupt, but this is important. The shooter who murdered my sweet little Daniel.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, it's so spooky. Okay. Okay. So no chance that her existed to do anything suspicious. I think that's an important one because I was thinking it was possible that there was some way Ava could have like sneakily killed Nanjo, like maybe at like a range. I think it's really interesting in this game that there's no map of the mansion. Like it's not an important detail, like the setup of the mansion itself. Or at least there's not yet. I didn't even know there was a 3rd floor until episode 3. Nanjo was killed by another person. So yeah, it isn't... I guess we do have to suspect another person. I can't figure this out. This is so tricky. The person who killed Nanjo couldn't have been dead. This is freaking so tricky. And yet we were told after Hideyoshi, Kairi and Rudolph were killed, we were told that, I think by Ronove, that like he didn't want to spoil why he wasn't gonna say that they weren't dead. And that it would be important for later. I think the reason why it was important for later is because this was all planned by Beatrice to like tell us this. Like Beatrice created this web on purpose. Like this has been her like full frontal attack. We've been hit with this whole idea that the 15 people were all certainly dead and that there was nobody possible who could have killed Dr. Nanjo. But I feel like there's some technicality I'm missing here that makes it possible for someone to be dead and also kill somebody or something. It's either that or just like we can't suspect Jessica because Jessica, they say, hasn't committed the murder. We know it wasn't Ava or Battler, so we can't suspect those three. The murders happened on the second night, which was actually faster than any of the other previous Twilights. Or not previous Twilights, previous games. No life forms other than... And it seems like it's not possible that someone went to the island after the Yoshiro Miyas arrived. A human with their feet on the ground held up a weapon and killed with it, right before his eyes. But it doesn't specify the distance. The way they talk about it, it implies it was like a point-blank shot. But what if it wasn't? What if it was done from a range and like whenever... I figured it out almost instantly when I read it. It's easier than you think. Oh gosh. Occam's razor. Battler, please teach me Occam's razor. Hi, Milaguino. Oh. Naja didn't commit suicide. This one is if you don't get it when you read it, you won't get it till later. It's definitely... And then there's this whole other thing with Beatrice that I haven't considered yet. I am so freaking lost. If the game like helps me out a bit, sometimes I can figure shit out. I don't know. Maybe I should see what happens whenever they split up. Maybe that's important. Here on Rokenjima. Waterfall of tears over. And then the number. I'm just not like a big mystery guy. 0715112. To push aside the eerie feel it gave off. It could be a magic square. You know about this shit. I'm kind of a Dr. Nanjo hater, I'm afraid. It could be a magic square, the idea that a ward against magic can hide in a certain sort of number play. I believe everyone has heard. Yeah, you can't just Google it. Wasn't that group of numbers buried in a rectangle? It's just a single row. I don't have a clue what it could mean. What Jessica said is probably correct. There isn't any point in us wasting time thinking about it. Goda hater? I'm also a freaking huge Goda hater, because right off the bat in episode 1, he's like mean to Canon for some fucking reason, and I'm like, fuck this guy. It was definitely him. Though she said that, she probably suspected that it actually meant something. Aunt Ava was definitely writing that number down on an old receipt or something with a short ballpoint pen. Unless it had some. And that like anytime it was like Natsui and Goda. Like anytime they were like slightly disrespectful to like one of the servants, I was like, it's him, because he's a dick. It'd probably be tough to memorize a code made out of an 8-digit number. Date or something? L-I-B. How was Nanjo killed? Let me see. Execute. A gun, okay. Or a spear-shaped object. What are you talking about? But there wasn't like a spear in him. So it was a gun. Well, it's probably a coincidence. But my birthday is July 15th. I think that once I thought 0715 might refer to July 15th, I figured that what is 1129 stood for November 29th. I don't know, Battler. How would you 9? I ended in the weirdest place that last stream. No, actually it wasn't that bad. Sweet. Actually it was a good Jessica. Spot. I always give the servants presents on their birthdays, so I know it for all of them. God, why am I spitting facts? Jessica is fantastic. Actually, 2 dates written together? I don't really believe that. That way. Or there may be no meaning at all. Well, I kind of not really point on them. I knew had been added to this door. Does that mean something new? And that's where George is. Fuck. I'd I hate to say it to Aunt Ava, I couldn't pick up any signs of life. After moving to take George's pulse, Dr. Nanjo shook his head and wordlessly reporting that George was dead. Brushing him aside, Aunt Ava again crouched beside George Anaki and started crying at the top of her lungs. With Anaki's death, one thing is certain. The murders hadn't ended on the 8th twilight. The epitaph was being carried out. I was really sorry. Oh, I guess none shall be left alive. For some reason, know the truth. That I felt there's been and they might have been killed at a rate of about one person. I think I'm gonna go for like 15 more minutes. I don't think I'm putting a lot together tonight. I don't think I prepared enough for this. I should have watched my VODs through a little more. I didn't really watch through anything. I'm gonna need some more time to think about all this shit. There. Right. For food. I just started complaining about being hungry. Oh, it's doubtful now whether I'll even be able to leave this island alive. Jessica-san, stop. Yeah, who knows? Jessica was grabbing at Aunt Ava? Their explanation. Aunt Ava. So they're fighting, and it seems like she like blasted like her. She didn't shoot Jessica, but like you knew. I think like some gunpowder like got in her face or something. And if you'd stopped George, he'd be in the cousin's room the whole time. And Ava-san was on the first floor lobby the whole time. Neither of you is responsible for anything. Culprit is no one, nowhere. It's all just the witch's fault. So stop hating each other. Episode 4 is so good. I've been waiting for it. The witch's fault, huh? I wonder if that's a good way to cool down the situation right now. It's the witch's fault. The witch. Well, I don't really think Ava Beatrice is the type to really like leave a letter on the table right now, because now's when you would do that. Actually, Sparky's goal is how did the culprit lock it from the outside? When Dad's group was attacked, their master key was definitely stolen. Outside, so that their sadness at losing their blood relatives into anger at the person in front of them. Dr. Nanjo was trying to step them but so fucking matter. Just sound of the barrel on the floor and were in shock. Are you okay, Jessica-san? Jessica-san. That was one shot. Ah. It hurts. It hurts. So the gun Ava has shoots at least 3 times, if at least 2 times. It shoots Jessica and it shoots Battler. So there's still 2 shots in there. I think it says it. Let me go back to episode 1. It says it holds 4 shots or 5 shots. The Winchester sawed-off holds 5 rounds, actually. Plus, in this act, there was more guns around. So what I want to know, I guess, and a question of I have was like previously, were there more like sawed-off Winchesters in the household? And if so, why didn't they use them in the previous episodes? I don't know. Hurts. I feel like this game just gives me more. I keep saying this. This is the questions arc because I keep getting more freaking questions than answers. I don't know. It feels like there could be a trap. True enough, it might be possible to find an explanation that way. How? Like, are you asking me whether I think the magic's real again? Because I know you keep asking me that like every episode. Like, is the magic real? Dang, I have a really busy week and you're already done with episode 3. I freaking chugged through episode 3. I did a 5-hour stream. It was crazy. I did like multiple, like 3-4 hour streams. I freaking absolutely streamed my ass off for this. I kind of, okay, there was this scene with, look, I'm so proud of myself. Do you know of the Umineko LP archive? I don't. I think I liked episode 3 the most, Bedwards. Is it gonna be like, am I gonna spoil myself if I click it? Could you maybe send it to me so I can thumb through it real quick? Okay. Thank you. Do I really want to believe that Ava's really sick? There were some long streams when I was doing episode 3. It was, well, it was 8 streams. It was 9 streams. So that's about 2 weeks and some change. Did you get Beatrice with the ending? No, I didn't. Never freaking trusted her to begin with. Oh wow, this is super detailed. Oh shit. Maybe if I actually use the correct. Okay. Wedding ring, Halloween, Halloween 2, Jessica and Cannon, Jessica and Cannon 2, New Rule 2, a suspect. Whoops, I didn't see anything there. Skirmish, Key of the Golden Land, Coronation, the New Witch, announcement of the sacrifices, the battle of the to the death in the hall, the definition of a witch, real magic. This is okay. This is Beatrice and George. This part's called real. Oh, this is when I didn't even thought about these two. What happened to Natsui and these two are like killed and then it's kind of like not brought up again. They don't really linger on their deaths too much, do they? Ah, gosh. All right, I think I'm just gonna get started with Umineko. I need to look into this more. I am not busy tomorrow, so maybe that's something I'll do. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna start using the archives more because then I actually have everything written down, so I can control F my way through it. The VODs are nice, just for helping me kind of like find the plot. But all right, I'm gonna thank you for giving me that link. That's huge. Okay, let me change my input to Umineko. This one if the answers are two. Oh, Christ. Let me see how I do this again. No, that's not how I do it. I go to studio mode, and then I go. And then we go. Game capture. We click. I think I need to click somewhere for it to like. Is Umineko gonna capture? Am I terrible with technology? Yes, I am. No, it's always when I click it like that. Oh my god. A myth. Hold up. Okay, it should be ready soon. This is why I don't stream multiple games a stream, usually. There we go. Oh, that's such an awful transition. It's just like the basic one. It's so bad. I love it. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, okay. Whew. Okay, episode 4. Good morning. How shocking that you haven't been forced to surrender even now. Need an Umineko tattoo, like the one-winged eagle. I don't even know what the significance of the one-winged eagle is. I feel like that's important. Full epitaph written on body. The difficulty level depends on you. The manner in which you fought up until now will greatly influence the difficulty of this game. Not all the game takes place on the board. How about taking a little peek at the outside this time around? They say if you know your enemy, you need not fight 100 battles. The manner in which you... So if I'm really smart and I've solved the mystery, then I'm in a good spot. But elsewise, I'm not. Beatrice portrait on my back. That's crazy. What's this? Oh. Epitaph on my torso. Alright, let's just jump into it then. Let's just jump into it. Sleeves of the Roses. Episode 4 mostly takes place outside of Rokenjima. Ooh. I can't wait to see the opening again. Alright, October 4th. Wahaha! You alright, Batler-kun? We're already on the ground and you can't fall any further than that. Wahaha! Fall! In the lobby of the Nijima airport, Maria dashed around in excitement. Battler's uproar in the plane must have been hilarious. Hey, Maria, cut that out. I'm sorry, Battler-kun. Please don't take it badly. What a pathetic guy you are. Even with that huge body, you still can't handle vehicles. Shut up. All humans have one or two things they can't handle. Battler-kun, why don't you come with your aunt on an overseas trip at some time soon? Because he doesn't want to be shot. How about Europe? I'm sure you could manage a half-day trip on a plane. Stop it, Mom. Battler-kun's dislike for vehicles is probably genetic. Oh, you mean a Sulu-san? For some reason, she just couldn't handle vehicles. Pretty much anything other than a bicycle or a car. Whenever we tried to go far away, that woman was so annoying with the not this, not that. I'm scared. I'm scared. Fall. Yeah. Children tend to learn that things their parents can't handle are dangerous. I'm sure Battler-kun saw Suma-san doing something like that, and then he learned that vehicles are scary. So it's Suma-san's genes then, is it? Who knows? Maybe he's just culturally Catholic. Those would be some pretty annoying genes. That's enough talking about Asumu. Right now, you're the one who's here. Right? You're right, sorry. She's being envious again. Hey, the cars are here. Exactly 3 of them. Get in. Battler getting the Eucharist fan art PNG. Fall! Where's the parachute? Maria, you're God's gift, Maria. Why, you little... Hold on, stop right there. I'll sentence you to the little girl... What? Okay, Battler. Being in high spirits is such a wonderful thing. Without Battler-kun and Maria-chan, the atmosphere in that place would have been pretty grim. Thanks. I'll assume you mean that literally. Hey, brats. The taxis are here. You can play around later. Ugh. Taxi! I'm getting in first. Hey, Maria, and you too, Battler-kun, stop fooling around. You'll bump into someone. The tone of Aunt Rosa's voice grew a little frightening. When even Battler realized they were fooling around a bit too much, just as expected, he bumped into someone. Oh, sorry. Battler-kun, you guys are going in that car. You're keeping them waiting. After George urged him to hurry on, Battler apologized to the person he had bumped into and ran up to his parents, who were telling him to come quickly. This episode makes me cry every time when they... I can't wait to cry. When they cry. With a clunking sound, the doors in the 3 taxis were shut one after another, and they departed for the harbor. Chadwick cried. I can't wait to cry. I will cry. I have no reservations for crying. I'm a big crier. That's not... Okay. Maybe spiritually true. Factually, eh. It must be my allergies. What's that? No, what's the line from Full Metal Alchemist? It must be the rain? Yeah, that's gonna be me. As their taxis dashed away, the entire world grew suddenly dull and slowed to a halt. Voices, the wind, even sound. All of it stopped, and all of the people who were trying to move froze like the instant someone takes a photo, coming to a halt, so time stopping. People and machines and clock hands, even the dust dancing in the wind, were frozen. This is a great song. Boom, 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 boom. Some people who were walking froze with one leg still in the air. Scraps of paper dancing in the wind were pinned midair, frozen in place. Then, among the shadows standing still in this unmoving world, a single one stirred. It's gonna be Angie, right? Yeah, hi Angie. It was a girl. The girl Battler had just bumped into? Though she had moved, it was a truly subtle thing. Her gaze dropped, her shoulders lowered a minuscule amount, and she sighed. That was all. I mean, she's kind of like the opposite of Battler. She's kind of sullen, sad, magical. Also, why the fuck is her right arm so skinny? I mean, look, the armband doesn't even fit around her arm. She's made of fucking twigs. If Battler bumps into her again, she might just crumple. Oh my gosh. In a normal world, that probably wouldn't be taken as movement. But in this still world, it looked very out of place. Then something else moved. It was a black cat wandering around the shadows near the taxi rank. I can't wait to rewatch my whole Umineko Let's Play when I'm done with it and be like, oh, I'm a dumbass. It's gonna be great. And then there'll be moments where I say something that was totally right and I just didn't even know it. All her workouts were for her back on carrying the weight of peak fiction. I love that. And leisurely changed its form into that of a human. Oh, the cat. Does she have a black cat? Oh, it's Bern. This was no cat. It was a witch. Of course, the girl was also a witch. We contacted world experts, and they came to the same conclusion. Sid, that's just an anime thing. It's just the genre. As the witch stood still, her gaze still downwards, she muttered, I can't stop everyone from going to Rokujima, can I? You cannot. On October 4th, 1986, you are not here. If I were, would stopping everyone really have been possible? Well, I can't imagine what a 6-year-old girl could do to make them turn back. I wish when I installed the 07th mod that I could switch between all three. I'm a little bugged about it. But I think these, wait, I can? Is it in the options? It's not here. Unless, no, it's not text box. I don't know. I'll look into it. Oh, is it an option I have to do whenever I'm installing the mod? Whatever. It's not that big of a deal to me. Still, that's right. You were in this place. The probability wouldn't have been 0. Whenever there's a probability greater than 0, I can seek out a miracle. If I hadn't been sick, and they hadn't left me behind. With her head facing downwards, the witch tightened her fists. They were trembling very slightly. You were sick in bed starting October 3rd, 1986. She would be 45 if she was alive. That'd be crazy. And Beato's game board is sealed off starting October 4th. You are not given a chance to avoid getting sick. In other words, it would normally be absolutely impossible for you to enter her game board. Thanks for being patronizing. I know that. I know that just seeing father, mother, and Oni-chan healthy like this, even that alone, is a spectacular miracle. Angie had tried to stand in the way of her family, attempting to stop them from leaving the airport and heading towards Rokkenjima. However, it was impossible for her to exist in October 4th, 1986, so she couldn't do it. Even though her brother had only bumped into her and apologized, even though he hadn't realized that she was his own little sister, it had been such a miracle that she could cry. Is that a canon event? I guess not, if this is the 4th game. Sorry about the sarcasm. I won't waste the miracle you've given me. I'm glad to hear it. Come, let us go with them to Rokkenjima. All the pieces are already gathered. The curtain will open on the 4th game. By this time, Beato and Battler will already be seated. Oh, I wonder if this is going to be about, like, these two then. In the whole Battler-Beatrice thing is going to be a little bit in the background, at least to some degree. To Rokkenjima, to where everyone's fates changed. The Rokkenjima of October 4th, 1986. There's a trick to discerning what scenes really did or didn't happen. What happened on that day? I'll expose it. I'll learn what it is, and I'll bring them back. As she stood there with her fists still clenched, she surely turned her face up to the heavens. A single teardrop from the depths of her eyes dripped down into the air. Why would you? When time started moving again, the two witches' figures were swallowed up by a glowing gale and erased in an instant. Oh, loud, 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 loud. I'm turning it down on the stream too. I love this song, by the way. Got Beatrice and Virgilia. Oh, the ocean. This is so good. Oh, Maria's eyes like that? No, thank you. What's up with Maria? Oh, that was so loud. Okay, let me turn it back up again. I can't wait for that to happen again when I start episode 5. And it's gonna scare me again. Oh, what the fuck? We're back here? Ah, Ronave. Good morning, milady. My, you do appear to be in a good mood. Oh, wait, I'll be right back. I need to get some beverages. Okay, I'm back. It's a tiny bit longer. Okay. It seems so far that they've all kind of been the same length. Is that true? I don't know. Episode 1 felt like it took a long time. Oh, episode 7 is a crazy tea party. Okay. Good morning, milady. My, you do appear to be in a good mood. What a pleasant awakening you seem to have had. What do you mean, pleasant awakening? I was so excited I couldn't sleep a wink. After all, the curtain is rising on the fun 4th game. It seemed that she truly had been so excited that she hadn't gotten any sleep. Did she show absolutely no signs of lacking sleep because she was young or because she had the mind of a little kid? Ronove chose not to say that aloud and laughed instead. I love his laugh. That's so cute. I really ran that battler into the ground last time. The look on his face when he was like, "You tricked me." Ah, that was so pathetic. Even so, is that guy still feeling down? Feeling down, you say? Well, that's right. That man's a bit too trusting for his age, isn't he? Yeah, I didn't trust him. I never fucking trusted her. Indeed. Although you could call that his charm. Bukuku. Ain't it the truth? Ain't it the truth? Well, speaking of which, didn't he totally fall for that one last time? Yes, totally and splendidly. You violated the purity of one never deceived since the time of his birth, as well as his rosebud-like innocence, all to your heart's content. That's okay, that's a way to refer to it. Even the joy of dashing across a field covered with beautiful new snow on a winter morning and trampling it completely wouldn't even begin to compare. Didn't you take Battler-sama's innocent heart and quite thrillingly, splendidly, atrociously, and mercilessly, and unculturedly go just a little too far? Look at his little frown. And you insulted him to the highest degree, enough to make one uneasy. Most people would be crushed after something like that. So much so that they wouldn't even want to see your face ever again. I know that much. I also, thought that if he was just too disheartened to join us at the table, even though the fourth game is finally starting, that would be such a pain. So I came to you, thinking that it'd be better to prepare a countermeasure for that case beforehand. Maybe Ronove isn't a good guy. The more I think about it, I was talking about good guy Ronove when I met him, because it seemed like he had his own agenda, but I feel like his own agenda is just to be a fucking asshole. Which, like, he's a demon from hell, so I don't think my expectations were that high. In that case, it would be best to prepare such a countermeasure. He's a sassy bitch who lives for the drama. We love that. I'm sad to say that your North Wind and the Sun strategy gave Battler-sama quite a shock. Ronove is just gay and catty. Red truth. Shing! Oh, a shock you say. How bad of one. You know, having a mustache like that, maybe I should have seen it earlier. Beato lowered her voice slightly, asking timidly. Ronove followed suit and lowered his voice in the same way. In truth, he has been crouching and clutching at his knees for some... He's in the fetal position. He's just given up. Poor Battler. This is why I guess Angie's here this episode, because Battler's freaking coping with the fact that he got manipulated by a woman. It was 18. He needed to experience it for the first time. I spoke to him several times, but he did not answer. I also brought him some food. We all deserve to... If you aren't, like, manipulated by somebody romantically... Not romantically, but I guess, like... If you aren't manipulated by a member of the preferred sex before the age of 18, you're missing out. I don't know. I also brought him some food, but he never even touched it. That is troublesome. Is he really feeling that down? It is only natural. After all, you, thoroughly beat him down, milady. That would make most people start to distrust humans. Oh, distrust of humans. How convenient. Let him give up on humans and trust witches. Oh. Sorry, I shouldn't fool around too much. Beato had tried to joke about it, but the situation seemed to be quite serious, but even though she took the hint and hid her laughter. Is it really that serious? Beatrice has zero empathy. Should we wait just a little longer before beginning the fourth game? Lady Berncastle's guest will be arriving, so it may be best to open the fourth game quickly. However, perhaps you ought to show a little concern for Battler's feelings, milady. Concern? Show concern, you say? How should I do that? He's feeling down, so... That's right. Shall I cheer him up? When a person's heart is dark and closed off, interacting with them in a dark manner gains you nothing. Reading is hard. Your only option is to shine with a brightness stronger than the dark. Okay. Damn it! Quit messing around. What is this fucking song? Oh my god, the sax, the alto sax. Okay. Yeah, Battler-kun over here. A croissant baked by Ronavesan would be wasted on the likes of you. Why don't I enjoy it myself? Battler's stomach involuntarily growled at the fragrant what? Fragrant smell of the croissant. His breakfast plate was empty, but Battler hadn't eaten any of it. The biggest glutton of the Seven Sisters of Purgatory, Beelzebub, had waited for Ronave to leave, and had then come to snatch the food away. Battler had noticed, and they'd been really noisy ever since. Even though Beelzebub, I don't know how you say it, only had to give it back immediately or else throw it into her own mouth right away. She intentionally ran around in circles, making fun of Battler. Give my breakfast back, damn it! If you give it back now, I'll let you off with a single fleck to the forehead. But just you try eating it. What, are you gonna eat me up instead? Yeah, if you think you can, just try it. I'll be as sweet as honey pancakes. Yeah! Gotcha! Right now, I want to eat that bread. Even more than your thighs. Okay, Battler. Okay, Battler. Be a good girl and give it here. Ooh, giga, gigi. So you resist until the end. Did anybody ever notice that Battler's a little weird about women? No way, I won't give it to you. Even the croissant wants me to eat it. I should be like a British person and say croissant. I love that freaking clap track. It's so good. Yay! Yoo-hoo! Good morning, Battler! Are you still moping so early in the morning? It's the beginning of a new day and a new game, so let's get our spirits up! She flung the door open, like a marathon runner drawn on a certain caramel box. What? Okay. With her hands held high and an idiotic cheeriness. I don't get the reference. The wind in the background is freaking me the fuck out. Beato appeared. Up there it goes. It's gone. For some reason, flags from around the world and confetti scattered about, perfectly completing this magnificent entrance. the flags of the Soviet Union and Yugoslavia. It's 1986. Battler and Beelzebub, who had been fighting over the croissant, completely forgot about their argument, speechless. Damn, this bitch crazy. Yeah. Good morning, Beatrice-sama. I'll just be on my way now. Here, Battler-kun, say, ah. Chomp. Nope. Hey, morning, Beato. Glad to see you're cheery this morning. Beato and Battler looked at each other. God, when will they kiss? It seemed neither had a clue what was going on with the other. But Battler? What's going on, Ronove? He looks totally fine, doesn't he? He isn't clutching his knees. And he's answering. Wait a sec. He was even in the middle of eating. Was this like Ronove's like way to get them to talk to each other? Why the fuck is Ronove just Beatrice's gay boy best friend? This changes everything. Okay, that's gonna be my new fucking like way to review Ronove. Ronove is just Beatrice's gay boy best friend. And that's just where we're at. No, he was sleeping like a baby in his futon, clutching his knees. I informed him that it was time to wake up, but he just wouldn't rise. I tried to feed him, but it seems that a naughty cat wandered in and prevented that. And she's his hag. In the truest sense, she's his hag. Every gay boy needs his hag. You tricked me! Good guy, Ronove. You should talk. Weren't you the one who played that massive trick last time? I don't have a clue what's going on, but it looks like you got what you deserved. By the way, Ronove, nice one. Thank you very much, Battler-sama. The two men stuck up their thumbs as though they understood each other, chuckling together. Please make that chwing noise. No, I didn't do it. For a while, Beata was very energetic, trying to hide her embarrassment. Oh, I love this track too. The remix of the other one, oh, so good. Don't take me so lightly. Did you really think I'd still be hiding in a corner holding my knees? The one who was that... Then who was that person crying their eyes out in frustration last time? You could have gathered your tears in a jar and called it face lotion. Battler Beatrice shippers are eating so well, Sid. It's insane. She wants her to accept her, so she can kiss him. She did also strip him naked. That part does need to be mentioned. And parade him around. You could have gathered your tears in a jar and called it. Look, she's just a bit of an exhibitionist. She can't help herself. Shut up. That was just because I was just a little surprised by your crappy act. I might have looked a little lame, but I don't think the same move will work twice. Of course not. And don't disappoint me by falling for the same move over and over again, okay? Just you watch. I'll show you that I'm a guy who gets stronger every time he's beaten down. But Beato. Yeah? What? Don't do it again. Oh, why's that? So you really are weak against a rear attack? You and I are enemies, and will certainly never join forces. I now understand that clearly. So don't you ever try to trick me about that fact again. You say that, but knowing your weaknesses, I'll. Beato thought they were still joking around, but that tone had disappeared from Battler's expression some time ago. Beato felt as though his eyes were like the surface of black tea that had cooled down. Battler is truly weak against the rear attack. You hear me? Don't do it again. I don't get it. I might do it again when you've forgotten, right? Don't do it again. Ugh. Pierced by his strong and forceful gaze, Beato held her tongue. Maybe she was certain that Battler would break that silence with laughter. He truly is his father's son. However, Battler's serious expression. I just realized that I think the reason why Battler. Maybe the reason why Battler moved in with his mom is because they had Angie with because Rudolph had Angie with Kyrie, because I think he was gone for 6 years. So I guess he really didn't grow up knowing Angie all that well. Maybe, I guess he knew about Angie, but I still want to know more about Battler's mom. We got like the most plot about her that whole episode. And that whole thing about like Kyrie having a child too, that was a miscarriage. I don't even think it was. I think they hung out though. Okay. The whole thing about like Kyrie having a miscarriage and the way it made it seem like she had a miscarriage like very late term. That's really sad. Battler's serious expression didn't change in the slightest. So to break that silence, Beato had no choice but to start laughing herself. Ah! Very well. I feel like that's like that dolphin noise from SpongeBob. You and I are worthy opponents. It was really late term. No matter how friendly our relationship, will never be anything more than a pair of enemies. If you've not mistaken this, that is enough for me. That's right. I almost forgot you were my enemy for a second there. I won't embarrass myself like that again. I won't fall for your rear attack again. Never again. It seems I'm not the only one who cannot wait for the fourth game. I'm pleased, Battler. Come, take your seat. Yep. Just how I like it. Clever little tricks won't work anymore. Stop acting so tough. I feel like the more Beatrice fucks around with Battler instead of like trying to convince him witches are real, the more he's just gonna slowly figure out like all of her tricks and all her bullshit. Beatrice truly is a mimetic being. You remain in a state of surrender for the last mystery in the previous game, the mystery of Nanjo's murder. My answer for that one's still on hold for now. That doesn't mean I've lost heart. I'll definitely break your red truth and show that I can deny witches. A commendable attitude. You truly are a man like a phoenix. Don't betray my expectations. With that, let us raise the curtains on the fourth game. But before that, it seems we must welcome a new guest. A guest? You remember as well, correct? That mystery girl who appeared at the very end of the last game without an invitation, ruining my fun. That person. I can't wait for Battler to figure out who this is. She says she wants to join our game. I sent her an official invitation, inviting her to join this match. Ronove, summon our guest. There's no need. I'm already here. The voice that answered Beato's call came from the darkness in the corner of the room. When Battler turned around in surprise, he could now see that mystery girl there. I think it's interesting that they haven't decided... I think it's interesting that they haven't let Battler know that this is his sister yet. I think that's super cool, that we know and he doesn't know. My. How rude. All you have to do is greet us as soon as you arrived. I don't make a habit of talking to people before punching them. After I punch, it's a different story though. Please punch Beatrice. Please just kick her shit. Please just kick her stupid fucking face in. Oh, and what would you say? Good night. Have a nice dream. How amusing. How truly amusing. That's like Beatrice's catchphrase. Battler has, it's useless. It's useless. It's all useless. And Beatrice has, how amusing. How truly amusing. Beato cackled and clapped her hands. That was only Beato, and nothing rose to Battler's face except a bitter smile. Phew. You sure are a fighter. Battler and the girl's eyes met, and he shrugged his shoulders as he spoke. But the girl didn't answer, giving only a cold stare in return. You helped me out at the end of the last game. Thanks for that. I don't need your gratitude. You were just slacking off. I only told you to open your eyes. That's so true. Stop slacking off, Battler. Beato tried to laugh as though sympathizing with her, but didn't reach the girl's ears. She did absolutely nothing except stare at Battler with ice-cold eyes. Ice-cold. Well, it looks like someone hates me. I'm just annoyed that you aren't taking this fight seriously. Are you saying I'm not serious about this? Don't tell me that travesty earlier was you being serious. Don't take me for a fool. How long did you intend to play along with the witch's farce like this? I'm fighting Beato in my own way. And doing it seriously, of course. Seriously? Don't make me laugh. You keep on drinking tea and chatting with a witch for all eternity and call that fighting seriously? Keep the jokes. It's just your hairdo. Finally, somebody said it. His hair is terrible. It's so much worse in the PC version. Well, that's because I wasn't used to the witch's game in the beginning, and I've been through a lot of harsh stuff. Still, I'm finally starting to see how to fight. I'm getting the knack of doing it. The pathetic way I've been acting makes it more like I haven't been serious to you. You're just wrong. Is that so? Of course. I know I gotta close in on more before I can grab Beato by the collar. But no matter how long that distance may be, it's still fine with me. In each game that passes, I'm steadily closing that distance step by step. No matter how long it takes, I'll close in on that witch, and I'll definitely checkmate her. It might take 1,000 years, to use her phrase. Angie, I was in the witch's ditty party. You wouldn't understand. But even so, I'll definitely win sooner or later. Why? Because I definitely won't accept losing. I definitely won't stop moving forward, closing in on her. And in other words, there's just one thing I can say for sure. I definitely win against that witch someday. That's how it is. You really don't sound like you're in a hurry. Are you even trying to win? Even the finite can become endless if you treat it the wrong way. By now, you've become an Achilles who couldn't even outstrip a turtle. Atler really wants to close in and grab Beato by the collar. Oh, more like he wants to kiss her. Mwah. At this rate, there's no way you could win against the Endless Witch after 1 billion years. Who are you? It's not like you'll be struck by lightning if you just tell me your name. Is she gonna tell him? At that point, the girl fell silent, gazing straight into Battler's eyes. At first, Battler faltered under the firmness of that look, and his gaze wavered slightly, but then his eyes gradually began to be sucked into the pupils that were staring at him. That brute. Then, inside those eyes, he saw a light that he'd seen some time before. Battler was struck by how strongly they resembled the eyes of a girl who definitely couldn't be there. This track freaks me the fuck out. It's that, like, whispering in the background, that shit gets me fucked. Even though that wasn't completely impossible. I know it's stupid, but for some reason it feels true to me. That can't be right. That person's supposed to still be 6 years old. No, I want Beatrice. No, I want Beatrice. I want to kiss Beatrice. No, I want to kiss Beatrice. That person's supposed to be 6 years old. You couldn't possibly be Angie, could you? If I were to say that's right, would you believe me? I'll put it another way. If I said I am your ally, so trust me, would you believe it? Would you unconditionally trust some unknown girl you're meeting for the first time just because she looks a little like someone you know? It's because you're such a softie that you got tricked so easily in the last game and cried so bitterly. I believed everyone. You said it yourself. That kid is 6, right? Do I look like I'm 6? If I were to claim that I'm that kid despite that, would you just swallow that story? Angie would have solved the Rokajima murders in easy 45 minutes. Sorry for having a beautiful heart and a kind soul. If you say it like that, there's no way I can argue back. Sorry. That's right, I am a softie. And that should have been made clear to me after the last game. Is that the way you meant when you said I wasn't being serious? Yes. You may think you're fighting against a witch, but you're just getting along with her and playing. You're just playing at fighting in a friendly game of chess. That may be a serious contest for you two, but looking at it from afar away, I only see you playing around and following the rules like you're good friends. She's really laying into him. That's harsh. But as long as you're unable to win at this game, you won't be released from this place. That's why I came. I came to bring this game to its conclusion. You claim that you're closing in on the witch, but you're just like a hamster running around in a wheel. Oh, one of those. Those things that run around and around in place, night after night. At a glance, you might think that running around in a wheel is endless. That the endless witch, Beatrice. It's just like you. He thinks he's fighting, but he's actually just running around in a wheel while making a fool of himself. Hello, Chadwick. This isn't a game. This is nothing more than a cage to shut him up in for all eternity. Theory crafting was not a very... Theory crafting was very unfruitful, I'm afraid. I might have to do more by myself. But I'm not busy tomorrow, so that's probably what I'm going to do. Maybe at least for a little bit. I don't know. Actually, I'm a little busy, but yeah. I feel like I'm like... I just got back from work/grocery shopping. This is nothing more to cage him up for all eternity. Oh, you'd liken my endless to something like a wheel that a mouse plays in? Interesting, interesting. Something that's endless in a certain dimension can be less than endless in a higher one. The fact that a Menger sponge... What is a Menger sponge? Oh. Sierpinski cube. Okay. Yeah, that's too much for my brain, which cannot do math. I've never had sake. I've had koji. I haven't had sake. Koji's like a rice beer. It's really good. The fact that a Menger sponge, Menger, I think it's Menger, 40% off at the hot bar. That's everything. I got food from the hot bar today. I got some fried chicken from the hot bar. It was a very, very... At the grocery store. Its infinite surface area only matters in a world of less than 3 dimensions. In the 3-dimensional world of reality, it has 0 mass. Not only is it not endless, it doesn't even exist. What an assertive woman. It seems you are worthy of being called my enemy. Who are you? I'm your ally, and an enemy of witches. Of course, you don't have to believe it. Beatrice is like a being that exists above the reality of Rokunjima. The Menger sponge. No one can prove that I really am your ally. On the contrary, it's more desirable that you keep your guard up strongly enough to find me very suspicious. Ooh-wah. That's right. Last time ended up pretty bad. I've got to be at least that careful. I don't plan on getting tricked twice. Beato laughed in a truly pleased way, which was humiliating only to Battler. Man, there's probably like hours and hours of recordings of the voice actress for Beatrice laughing. She's a total chuckle fuck. People don't get tricked out of the blue. That only happens when they fail to check things for themselves and leave it to other people. Oh, like me. I'm the most easily tricked human being there is. Saying that you thought the light had turned green just because you saw other people start crossing it doesn't count as an excuse for getting into an accident. Get it? Yeah, I get it. You're telling me not to swallow information given to me by others, but to think for myself. In the past, I swallowed all the magic that Beato showed me. I stopped thinking, so I was useless. Battler grimaced as he remembered his many painful losses. The witch watched and laughed again, putting on a bold appearance. I'll offer you advice in a way that works to your advantage. Of course, you shouldn't swallow everything I say, because no one can provide certain proof that I'm your ally. Swallowing Beatrice's magic. In the last game, Virgilia, who I thought was an ally, was actually on the witch's side. I haven't even really thought about that yet. I wonder if Virgilia is coming back. Battler couldn't rid his head of that eerie smile worn by Virgilia, a person he'd once even thought of as trustworthy and reliable. I feel like I need to like rewatch every scene with freaking. For some reason, I didn't trust Beatrice, but I trusted Virgilia. So now I really need to like realign. I really need to criticize everything Virgilia ever told Battler, because it was just to like prime him. This is just a whole game about Battler being groomed. Ugh. So I don't need you to unconditionally trust me. You might as well take my advice as nothing more than an opinion to be considered. After all, the player who's fighting in a game against the witch is you. That's right. Saying I lost because I followed the moves of an outsider would be just too pathetic as an excuse. I mean, I'm not really smart either, so I really do, like... I get the whole Battler thing. Like, I get it. Oh yes, my opponent is Battler. You are nothing more than an outsider. You should bear that in mind. No, I'm not an outsider. With Beatrice and Ushiramiya Battler, I who gaze down from above it, it's almost like a fight in the shape of a triangle. At a glance, it might not look like a united front, but having a united front doesn't necessarily mean fighting together. Oh, what an odd thing to say. Just now, we described fighting you as closing the distance. He's awesome, he's just a little stupid. But you can't measure distance with a single eye. Only with two eyes are things visible in 3 dimensions, and only then can distance be judged. And even when you have 2 fields of vision, it's pointless if they're in the same place. You can pin down witches more accurately when they're far apart. Shooting from different positions and different angles. So basically it's crossfire. Interesting. We're shooting from different positions and different angles. So I won't get along with anybody. That's how I'll keep my own position separate and catch the witch in a pincer attack. Are you okay with this, Battler? This girl may actually be an ambush I set up, right? She just might be saying something plausible to gain your trust, right? Maybe. She's been saying that over and over again herself. So of course I can't blindly accept her advice. But as to whether she's worthy of trust or not, I can think of for myself and make a decision. As long as I don't stop thinking for myself, I won't be tricked by anyone again. What confidence, Ushirimiya Battler. After you've said so much, it makes me want to trick you all over again, you see. I can't wait to see what kind of face you'll make when you realize that you've been duped once more. How pleasant. It looks like you know my name, but I don't know yours. Tell me. For a while, the girl remained silent, without changing her expression even once. She looked as though she couldn't decide whether to say her name or not, or possibly as though whether she was deciding on a name she'd say on the spot. Is she gonna say Beatrice? Gretel. Gretel? Okay. Hansel and Gretel, okay. Ghetto? Ghetto? Gurettor. Guretoru. Ghetto? This is a translation thing. You are? That's my name, dumbass. Call me Gretel. Then should I call myself Hansel? Just kidding. I'm Ushirimiya Battler. Call me Battler. Nice to meet you. I hate handshakes. Don't take it personally. Man, the way her whole personality is just like, I'm too tired of his shit. Ah, really? Sorry. After all, it isn't certain that you're my ally. And you just told me to keep my guard up, too. Battler drew back his right hand, which he had stuck out. His bitter smile disappeared and was replaced with a strong resolve directed at this fourth game. Battler, think deeply about why you must win against this witch. You can't stop at something abstract like, I'll beat her because I don't like it. Have a deep conviction that you'll definitely defeat the witch and escape from this world. Because there's definitely someone waiting for you to come back. For that kid's sake as well. For that kid's sake as well. Maybe there was something she wanted to say. Gretel clenched her fists in front of her chest and hung her head in silence, at a loss for words for a short while. As though smashing through that silence, Beato spoke up in a forceful voice. Good. That should be enough of an introduction for Gretel or whoever. Try to remember what happened on October 4th. Let the curtain open on the fourth game. At the same time, as though it had been blown by a sudden gust of wind, the clock that had been turned back to October 4th, 1986 started to move. Ooh. Oh, I love how the sea is described as blue-gray, because it goes back to that whole thing about Canon and Shannon, like their whole dilemma about like outlook on life and like their relationship with George. Good writing. Good callback writing. We love it. And the green Rokanjima spread out beneath us. And we could see a boat heading there, its wake trailing behind it. The sky was already cloudy, and it seemed that barrier, the typhoon, would soon shut that island away. We love Umineko. There was a boat docked him. Not this fucking asshole. Fucking jag. And Goda helping to unload it. Okay. Wait, what is going on? Okay. Mic settings. Mic settings are fine, probably. Then, once all of its passengers had disembarked, the boat began to separate from the shoreline. Isn't it real? Why wouldn't they just keep an extra boat on the island? Is there another boat on the island? That seems like a terrible idea. Bye, Eric. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it. The relatives were gradually swallowed up by the island. Ha! Looks like you're as cheery as ever, Maria. Maria-chan, you'll trip if you aren't careful. Look out! Gonna fall! Fall! Sink! Sink! The long-missed cousins I had loved dashed across the beach, getting swallowed by the forest path that led to the mansion and disappeared. And of course, Oni-chan could be seen among them too. Damn it! Stop right there, Maria. You nimble little brat. Ugh. Maria Oni-chan, whom I'd loved, started dashing, and Oni-chan chased after her. They were swallowed up by the forest. Following them, father and mother were also swallowed up. Oh, that's... The way this is actually a really good analogy, being swallowed up by the forest. I'm still mad with the fact that we haven't gone to Kuadorian yet. Even though we know Kuadorian exists, they haven't gone there. So I guess my question is like, why didn't they try to go to Kuadorian? If that's actually a really good question. I'm writing that down in my notes. Hold up. Why didn't they fucking go to Kuadorian? Which we know exists. Why didn't the Bashiro Miyas go to Kuadorian? Does Kuadorian... So I guess what... Why didn't Kraus find Kuadorian when he was doing... Maybe because there was a typhoon. Okay. So what? There's a little rain, there's a little wind. Whatever. Look, maybe it's just because I'm... Like, I don't live near the beach or anything. So I don't really understand it that well. But just risk the typhoon. Just go storm chasing. I don't know. I still think the other mansion that we see, like the purple place, I think that's Kuadorian. But don't tell me, because I don't want to know. I want to figure it out myself. They were swallowed up, leaving only me behind. Ushira Mia... Oh, wait. How long are you going to joke around and play with a witch in a place like this? Come back quickly, Oni-chan. Okay. Don't leave me all alone. And realize how cruel and lonely the world I'm isolated in is. Welcome to Rokonjima, the island you all know and love, or do you? Umineko naku no koro ni. Angie's future, St. Lucia Academy, after 1986. Lucia. Oh my god. This is gonna be bizarre. I'm not gonna enjoy this. Good day to you. What is that fit? What is that fit? That fit is so atrocious. She can't get away with that fit. I disallow it. Stop it! Angie! What is that? What are those? Good day to you. Good day to you is the standard greeting used here. No matter how many years pass, the style of greeting still feels very awkward. Even though I've responded to the greeting in order to stifle that awkward feeling. The classmate who had spoken looked at me blankly. The worst fit in the whole series is George, like no questions asked. A yellow suit is so freaking criminal. He deserves to go to jail for wearing this. Black shirt, white tie, yellow suit, yellow pants. This brown vest. He's just wearing piss clothes, shit vest, cum tie, pee pee poo poo ass looking fit. Fuck George. I could never rock it. You'd be surprised. I clean up well. Not in those colors. Huh? What's that? It seems you're mistaken. Their choice of words and manner was certainly what you'd expect from a school for rich girls. But the actual meaning was as innocent, as cruel as you'd expect from kids that age. It seems they found it funny that I'd mistakenly thought the greeting was directed at me. No, it might be the opposite. Maybe they didn't know how to react after being suddenly greeted by a gloomy, quiet kid like me. No, judging by the gazes of my classmates who were looking this way over their shoulder and whispering to each other, it looked as though some of them considered this refreshing morning ruined. I was dark, because I was disliked. So trying not to get in the way of everyone's refreshing morning and any more, I stooped lower and entered the classroom. Almost like I was cutting through the aisle in a movie theater while the movie was running. This is an all-dorm school, St. Lucia Academy. They are Catholic! Shit, okay. It's not a school that anyone can get into by taking a test. It's a hidden rich girls' school, known only by a select group of celebrities from various fields. For lofty nobles who truly wish their daughters could be raised like saints, this is probably the ideal school in which to protect them from the impurities of the common world. But at the same time, it probably was also convenient for nobles who wanted to confine daughters so they didn't want out in public. As well as an academy isolated from the impurities of the common world, also held excellent potential as a prison school. I was truly among the latter, and was confined in St. Lucia Academy, forced to live my life in dreariness. Hold up, I always just look this up because I'm curious. St. Lucia. What's up with St. Lucia? Roman Christian martyr who died during the Diocletianic period. She was venerated as a saint in Catholic, Anglican, and Lutheran. One of the 8 women explicitly commemorated by the Catholics in the canon of the Mass traditional feast. Best known as one of the Virgin Martyrs, along with Agatha, Sicily, Agnes of Rome, Cecilia of Rome, and Catherine of Alexandria. Patron saint of the blind, martyrs, Perugia, Italy, Matarfa, Malta, epidemics, salesmen, Syracuse, Italy, throat infections, writers, Sasmuan, Pampanga, oh, that's Tagalog. I don't have any luck with Tagalog. St. Lucia, the island. Okay. Martyrs feels important to me. Martyrs and writers. Of course, there weren't that many students like me, and you couldn't tell us apart at a glance. However, even if we fessed up about it, you could usually figure out who we were by watching how we acted. After all, we were always hanging our heads, with an expression on our faces as though the whole world had abandoned us. Anyway, every class had one or two kids like that, so even if they didn't speak up about it, you could guess who they were. Therefore, even though I never confessed that I was one of those kids, at some point everyone in my class knew about it. Just like the seriousness of an injury becomes a sign of status in a hospital room, how noble a birth one had became a sign of status here. Those girls who couldn't be acknowledged in public were probably nothing more than filth to the others. Oh, bastards. They must have thought that getting involved with such students would dirty them as well. When a rumor sprang up about that particular student, those fastidious girls would grow cold and distant, chasing that student out of all social groups. Thanks to that, I led a quiet school life like this, all by myself. God, I was the quietest little kid in high school. Well, that's only if hearing people whisper behind my back, finding my things lost or broken all the time, and having everyone pretend like they didn't know anything can be called a quiet school life. Even this early in the morning, I must look worn out. I can almost understand why my other classmates, who had a refreshing morning, looked at my face and wanted to click their tongues. Consciously trying to do as I should and avoid tainting my classmates' morning, I quietly took a seat. Then, unusually, someone came to talk to me. It was the class leader. "Good day to you, Shiramiya-san. You seem to be in a bad mood this morning. Were you able to get enough sleep? Is there some business you have with me?" "You're the only one who has not submitted her questionnaire for the class presentation, Shiramiya-san. Did you forget that the deadline was yesterday?" I'm pretty sure I heard something about that last week. But I thought that the questionnaire hadn't been passed out yet. The details would be written there, so there shouldn't have been any need to remember them beforehand. I wasn't given a questionnaire. That can't be. I believe the dormitory leader handed them out to everyone. If you lost it, all you have to do is honestly say so. I lost it. I'll fill it in right now, so could you give me a sheet? Again. Either someone lost my sheet or they intentionally didn't tell me about it. But I have no way of knowing who was behind that. In the end, treating it as though it was my own carelessness would settle everything more quickly. Once you filled it out, drop it in the questionnaire box in the student council room yourself. Our class is the only one that didn't get everyone's in by yesterday. As I hung my head at the class leader's scolding, I could hear the giggles and whispers of people watching coming from no direction in particular. Shiramiya-san did it again. She's just so careless. She doesn't deserve to be in this school. She has no dignity and no manners either. Sorry, girls, but I've dealt with much worse when it comes to unfair personal attacks. As I froze my heart and let those arrows of ridicule pass by, I quickly filled out the questionnaire. When I learned that father and mother and Oni-chan and all the rest of my family had died, I was at the house of my grandpa on my mother's side. The only survivor of the accident was Ushiramiya Eva. Only Aunt Ava. Even at the time, I hadn't really liked Aunt Ava. I do not remember how I perceived my uncles when I was, or my aunts when I was 4 years old, or 6 years old. At a glance, she would act kindly, but even as young as I was, I could see that she was somehow making fun of father and the rest, and I hadn't liked it. So when it was decided that Aunt Ava would take care of me, I was pretty miserable. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered if that gentle Uncle Hideyoshi and George Oni-chan had been with me, but I hated the thought of living all alone with Aunt Ava. I'd frankly said to Grandpa, hoping to live together in his house. However, Aunt Ava had been very insistent that she should be the one to look after me. She had no desire to remarry, so as her successor, I was essential if the Yoshiramiya family was to continue. Aunt Ava felt very strongly about the family. She insisted that she take charge of me right away so that she could give me an education and lifestyle fitting for a successor. After that, it seems that confusing negotiations with lawyers took place. But in the end, I was forced to go live with Aunt Ava. Maybe I should... I wonder if I should start considering Aunt Ava as the killer for episodes 1 and 2 as well. I don't think so. A part of me wants to believe what Battler believes, and that it's none of the 18. After doing that, Aunt Ava told me something. The reading is hard. Aunt Ava told me something. You must bear all the glory and history of the Yoshiramiya family. And in order to make you a fitting successor to bear that, the rest of your life will be dedicated to frantic studying. Sacrifice the rest of your life for the Yoshiramiya family. That's what she said. At first, I thought she meant it literally. But then I quickly realized that wasn't the case. But because even now, in Aunt Ava's eyes, the one most fitting to succeed her was the late George Oni-chan. I feel like a big question. I've heard that in Japan you have to live with your parents until you're like 20. Not 100% sure if true. When I was in college, I had a roommate from Japan. I don't know. He was weird. He would just like turn the AC up to like 90 degrees. And then he helped a girl cheat on her boyfriend. Weird story. Because of even now in Aunt Ava's eyes, the one most fitting to succeed her was the late George Oni-chan. At first, reading is hard. At our first meal together, I received strict instructions and questioning about table manners. I was forced to listen to her abuse mom and dad as though they'd been neglectful in their discipline. I also received the same strict instructions regarding my manners at my first party, and my clumsiness had been disparaged in front of everybody, forcing me to endure insults to mom and dad as well. After that repeated over and over, I eventually began to understand. Aunt Ava didn't really want to make me her successor. She thought George Oni-chan was the only one truly suited to be her successor. Then why did George die? Did she kill them? Was there another murderer? There's just too many fucking questions. She couldn't forgive the fact that it was to be me instead. So she insulted me in front of lots of people. She humiliated me. And she made it known exactly how I was inferior to George Oni-chan to both acquaintances and strangers. Surely in a place of a memorial service for her dead son. Or rather, she must be still mourning his death. You never stop mourning. It never stops. However, that wasn't something I could endure. I couldn't possibly live together with Aunt Ava. I was kept like a pet, my life continually compared with her dead son's. I understood that even when I was still in elementary school, I tried to escape the Ashiramiya house and run off to the house of my grandpas on my mom's side. However, Aunt Ava had already foreseen that. No, thinking back on it, she might have lured me into escaping. I was caught by the guards and brought back. And for being a coward who had smeared the Ushiramiya family crest with mud and tried to throw it away, in a way that makes my whole body shake and shiver just remembering it. I was punished. How should I describe what Aunt Ava was like when she punished me? In a frenzy? Gleeful? I saw the anger and sadness of losing her beloved son, as well as the hatred and pain from me stealing that inheritance from the son who should have received it. And the dark pleasure at being able to let those feelings out on me. I was hit with all those negative emotions at once. Then, all of my free time and freedom to act was stolen, and I was put under surveillance around the clock. I may have lived in a gorgeous mansion, dressed in expensive clothes, but my heart and my dignity had been trampled upon, and I was the Ashiramiya family's slave. It's cattle. Compared to that lifestyle, the derisive laughter of my classmates here was calm and pleasant. It caused my heart no trouble. Well, also, I bet everybody in this whole school knows that her whole family's fucking murked. After burying almost all of the fields of the questionnaire with nothing in particular, I folded it and put it in my pocket. Because if I let it in my desk, it might disappear again. During lunch breaks, after dropping it off at the post box in the student council room, I finished lunch by myself, as usual, and headed behind the school building where no one could be seen. One of my favorite tropes in like school animes, and I haven't seen many of them, so I don't really know that much. Because I think I've said this before, but I kind of casually just don't watch a lot of anime. It's not. I just don't really like it all that much. A lot of it just feels super pandering to me, and like it's just not really my thing. But like one of my favorite tropes in those genre of animes is like when the kids like will hang out on the roof and it's like their secret spot, as if the roof would be unlocked in any school ever. I remember when I was in high school, there was like this roof garden terrace that had like a little garden on it. It was locked, but I got to go to it my senior year. It was so cool. I think they did it for like tax reasons. Only my time by myself could protect me from the derisive laughter and gossip. Since I was hated and didn't have a single friend, my time alone was the most kind to me. After checking the surrounding bushes to see whether some malicious classmates were hiding and threatening my time of quiet, I finally relaxed the tension from my entire body, knowing that I had gained some true peace. Then I let out a sigh. It faltered, heavy, as though it was the first time I had breathed out today. My old favorite place behind the vegetable garden storehouse had been found out by my classmates, and I'd been teased, so this was my new lunchtime hideaway. Okay. There was nowhere to sit behind the school building. As I crouched near the wall in the shadow of the bushes, I opened my bag and took out a book with an elaborate, old-fashioned binding. Is she reading magical shit? Yeah, it's a grimoire. No, it's a grimoire. It's a grimoire. She's practicing her magic. Just glancing at it, you'd probably think it was a religious book or something written in the Middle Ages. But it wasn't a book. It was a diary. Oh, never mind, I'm fucking wrong. Of course, it wasn't my diary. Whose is it? There weren't any special things worth writing about in my daily life. Every single day was just gray, cold, and dry. In those completely unchanging days, there weren't any changes worth writing down. Maria does have a diary? This was the diary of Maria One-chan, the girl I'd been very close to. She'd been a bit strange and 3 years older than me, but One-chan was always a warm, wonderful cousin. She would always grab me by the hand and let me join in some fun game. I remember that being able to see her was the most fun part of our family gatherings. I wonder how many she went to. I guess she went to 5 or 6. I don't know. When I opened the diary, the characters, which were made fairly skillfully considering the fact that this was an elementary schooler, packed close together, though they written on every other line. That's weird. Was she hopelessly obsessed with jotting everything down in her diary? Probably not. To her, writing her daily life down in a diary was probably like having a conversation with another part of herself. So rather than an object on which the events of her day were written down, Maria One-chan's diary was written like a letter to another part of herself, telling her the events of that day. I found this diary among her belongings after her death and secretly took it home. At first, I'd felt that reading someone else's diary might be boorish, and satisfied myself with just keeping it by my side. But I couldn't help flipping through the pages and reading through it bit by bit. And by now, she had become my only friend. That's so sad. I gently opened to the page with the bookmark. I'm guessing she's read this through multiple times. Sorry to keep you reading, Maria One-chan. Could you let me hear your story again? I wonder when her last entry was. At the same time, a very, very soft breeze blew, tickling the paper. Ooh, that's great writing. Tickling the paper, that's cool. I thought the open diary might have sparkled faintly. The weather's good today. Maria One-chan loves the wonderful rays of sunlight, so I'm sure she's in a good mood. On the pages of the open diary, no, in the world of the diary, Maria One-chan showed herself. What the fuck? I'm so sad. That's so depressing. The crown is so fucking stupid. Why would her mom let her wear a fucking crown like she's Jughead or some shit? I'm pretty sure she was 9 when she died. So her form was already younger than me. But I call her One-chan, so she affectionately calls me Angie. Angie, you were slow getting here today. Was it packed at lunch? Yeah, it's always packed. Groups of friends set up camp in the seats and they stay there even after they've finished eating. It's pretty fatal if you get to the dining hall late. I was on cleanup duty today. I eat fast. The faster you eat, the more you can play. Maybe she realized I was holding a grudge because that duty had been forced upon me and shortened my lunch break by a bit. Maria One-chan brightly changed the subject. Grateful for that act of kindness, I responded by saying I was a slow eater. Maria calmed me down, saying something about teaching me the trick to eating fast. I've read about it in her diary. No, I heard it from Maria One-chan. She was ranked #1 among the girls in the speed eating ranking for her grade's newspaper. What? I was a part of my school's newspaper. I fuck with that deliciously. She was apparently very proud of that, but a little disappointed that her mother, Aunt Rosa, hadn't praised her very much for it. I think she praised Maria with, like, backhanding her. Giving her the pimp hand, as it were. Then, let's start our story for today. How far did we get yesterday? Has she not read through all the diary? This far. Until you got Sakutaro as a... What's Sakutaro? Sakutaro. Oh, that was a spoiler. Okay. Maria One-chan. You promised me you'd tell me about Sakutaro. Let's talk about Sakutaro. You know, Sakutaro is a really cute stuffed animal. I just spoiled something for myself. Fuck. The stuffed animal is a person. Fuck me. I'm so miffed. I thought it was like a grocery or something. I don't know. Or like a gift. I'm sure you'd like to meet him too, Angie. I don't know. I googled Sakutaro and I saw like a picture of a character in Umineko. I'm miffed. Yeah. Tell me that story. The only time I can relax at school is when I'm listening to your stories during lunch break. I'll tell you about it. Sakutaro was really, when I looked at Maria One-chan, who was always in a good mood, it made my heart feel warm as well. As I listened to her tale, I began to get absorbed into her world. It's so weird, like, being not on Rokenjima. See, this isn't that bad of a fit. This is actually a pretty good fit. Happy birthday, Maria. Sorry I got back so late. Oh, that's so cute. This is like a normal fit for her. Ugh. Look at the little bunny. That's cute. Good job with your work, Mama. I know you're busy, so even though you were late, I waited without crying. I was good and waited watching TV. Yes, you're such a good girl, Maria. As a present for waiting politely, you can order anything you want today. Of course, only as much as you can eat, okay? I thought it was like a Japanese word. I thought it was like some like food or something. I'm so mad. I hope it's probably not that big of a spoiler, but still. Did I close that? I did, okay. Why am I still using Google? I can close all these tabs. Ugh. Today I can change my corn soup to onion gratin soup. Yes, that's fine. Ugh. It's 200 yen more expensive, but can I change it to prosciutto pizza? Yes, that's fine. If you really can eat it. all I saw is the stuffed lion character, that the stuffed lion is actually like a physical human character with like a human body. And that feels like a small spoiler to me, Cat Chatch. Hello again. Eliana on the new phone. Wait, let me guess. This is truly a new phone edition. Is this the third time you followed me? Because that would be hilarious if that's true. Yeah, I guess I'm like rolling back Umineko Googling. You followed me on 3 accounts. That makes you like 5% of my follower base. That's so crazy. Yeah, that's fine. If you really can eat it, but that's okay. Am I really the best Umineko streamer? Never Google Ushirimiya Battler. I'm not. Am I really the best Umineko streamer? There's no way. I'm playing another story game after this. I think I'm gonna play Rue Valley next, but that's not out yet. But it'll be out by the time I'm done playing this. And then that'll be like a fun, like Disco Elysium-esque experience for me. But if the reviews are bad for it, then I don't want anything to do with it. It's your birthday after all. There must be a reward for the good girl who waited so patiently. Never Google Goda. Will not Google Goda. Ugh. Then can I have some enchilada cheesecake for dessert? The best according to me? Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. And then the chef's choice fruit salad and kids french fries. I want to drink melon soda too. Ugh. I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl. Mama praised me. Ugh. I love Maria. Oh, Maria and Rosa are actually having a good time together. I'm loving that. They need it so bad. Never Google Umineko at 3 a.m. Beatrice is calling your phone at 3 a.m. Do you answer? Battler.exe. I am God. That scared the shit out of me when I was like 12, so I can't say anything about it. I have no opinions. That shit absolutely terrified me. I was afraid of Sonic.exe. You're getting a little too excited. If you don't quiet down a bit, you'll disturb the other customers. When Rosa gently admonished her, Maria stuck out her tongue and eased up a little. I bet she goes like, eh. I love Maria. She's so cute. She's so freaking terrifying. That's why I love her. She'll be cute for a second, then she'll just be like dropping the craziest occult shit of your life. But it seemed that she was having a hard time repressing her excitement at being able to eat with her mother after such a long time. Today was Maria's birthday. Rosa always tried to let Maria spend her birthdays at great restaurants. When Maria had been in kindergarten, they sometimes invited other kids from the neighborhood over and had a party at home. Rosa would make a wonderful cake and snacks and decorate the house herself, making it a huge celebration. But when they moved and Maria no longer had friends in the neighborhood, Rosa had started splurging at expensive restaurants instead. God, that's the story of my life. However, today, they were in a normal family restaurant. I'll be right back, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back. It was also a little late in the day for a kid like Maria to eat there, even with a parent. Actually, she had gotten reservations at a fantastic place that would surely have pleased Maria. Of course, she also had prepared a wonderful cake with Maria's name written. I feel like if Maria's autistic, all she needs is like chicken tenders, some pizza, and like a magical book or some shit. But Rosa just hadn't been able to finish up her business and had been forced to cancel. I'm back too. That's crazy. It was like perfect timing. Alright, you can ask me a question. Like clockwork. Since that plan had been traded for a local family restaurant, Rosa felt a little indebted to Maria. I was reading recently. Okay. I have like fallen out of reading again. I was like on it for like a month. I've read 2 books this year. I usually do okay with reading. Since the plan had been traded for a local family restaurant, Rosa felt a little. They're just at Denny's. They're just at a fucking Denny's. All right, Maria, let's go to Denny's. Ugh, I want to go to Denny's. So she was prepared to spoil Maria a bit and let her have whatever she wanted tonight. You never used to eat much, did you, Maria One-chan? Was it really all right to order that much? Ugh, I like Denny's. Ugh, I can't eat very much, but I have a lot lined up. But I like to have a lot lined up. She's in the leftovers game. She knows what it's fucking about. When you have a rich mom like that, I do the same fucking thing with my parents. If I know I'm eating with my fucking parents, you know I'm getting more food just so I can fucking bring it back. My broke ass fucking needs it. Fuck yeah. She knows what it's about. She knows the game. You know, like, on a birthday table, if it's colored all over with red and blue and green and yellow, it makes you really happy. I found out despite there being 800,000 small business firms in comparison to 300,000 larger firms, mega corporations in Canada, they're both reliant on each other. No, I'm an American and I don't know much about Canada. Other than, like, the most basics I would know. I'm not too familiar with, like, businesses in Canada. I mean, I'm just, like, one of the Americans who basically just considers, like, your country, my country's hat. You have, like, 10 times less people. I don't know. Well, are you familiar with the concept of the symbiotic relationships between businesses both large and small? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yes, I am. I mean, that's just how the economy works, right? I thought I was Canadian. No, I'm a proud American. Salute the flag. Didn't know about the economy till recently. Yeah, I don't know. I took some classes in college. My best friend called me a good girl for learning. You're right. Having your birthday table be colorful can make you feel happy. I'm kind of like I'm just a little slightly geeky about microeconomics. History's more my deal, but I still like economics. Birthdays at my place were no match for yours, Maria One-chan, but the cakes we bought at the Fumiya store in the front of the station were always gorgeous. But yeah, there is extremely, in any modern Western economy, extreme cooperation and symbiotic between large corporations and small businesses. I'm geeky about everything social studies. I can't help it. Angie thought back to her own birthdays nostalgically. Okay, they got the cakes. Even though Dad was busy, he sometimes came home just to show up at my birthday party and then right back to his company. At the time, I was sad, but now I understand how important I was to Dad. What's up with her hair genetics? Dad has brown hair, Mom has white hair, which I guess she has like... Well, for me, I guess what's important is it's not less so that we have mega corporations in and of themselves aren't necessarily big problems. I mean, there is definitely a problem with oligopoly in certain industries. Like cable really suffers from oligopoly. But big business in and of itself isn't a bad thing. It's more about like taxes, paying your workers right. I don't necessarily think it's something that has to be foregone. I mean, one of the largest anarcho-syndicalist co-ops in Spain, for example, I think it's not called Mondragon, is it? I'm not Spanish, I don't know. I think it's Mondragon. Yeah, it is. Like, that's a $25 billion company. So to me, it's not necessarily entirely without the like anarchist like perspective that, oh, we can't have big business. No, there just needs to be worker control over those businesses, and that's what keeps it in check to me. I mean, there's other things. I do think oligopoly isn't great, but it's hard to balance the tightrope. But I'm also like 4 beers in, and me talking about economics is kind of neither here nor there. Of course, Mom also took very good care of me. But I'm also like, compared to like other left-wing people, I'm kind of like a little... I'm probably more market-friendly than most socialists are. But that's because like when it comes to like me and like I'm really like favorable to like people like Ben Tucker and like Rudolph Rocker. Yeah, Sid, Aliana and me, we used to chat while I was streaming Disco Elysium for the first time. It was a good time. We just talked about like politics and shit. It was fun. Well, also, I just think planned economies are terrible. Like, I don't even know what to say. The Soviet Union couldn't manage an economy for the life of them. They struggled to produce, like, basic things for people. A planned economy, not land economy. Planned economy just means that the government is taking like some sort of involvement into like deciding what goods are produced and made. Yeah, we have that here in the United States, and it's in China. Not really here. Actually, what we would call it the United States is a mixed economy. So it has that market and that incentive from the government. China is roughly a similar model. China has like some small markets and like a huge like government overseeing of production. I think it was the dentist reforms, the 1980s, around the time Umineko's happening, actually. Of course, Mom also took very good care of me. In particular, her birthday presents were always in excellent taste. And she sometimes arranged for them several months in advance. I love Kyrie. Even though we always... Oh, wait, this is Kyrie, okay. Even though we always sent an invitation to Battler Oni-chan, he didn't get along with Dad or something, so he kept not coming. Well, that's sad. So when he did come, I was really happy. The birthday parties, when the whole 4-person family gathered, made for fun memories that I'll never forget. Ugh. Angie's birthday parties sound like a lot of fun, too. Yeah, I know who Oswald Mosley is. It depends on different times in the Soviet Union's history. What was that? It was called the New Economic Policy, the NEP. So it depended on times in the Soviet Union's history. They had something called the NEP, which was like a small market system. But that was more about like getting rid of the feudal system, which had defined Russia by that point for over 1,000 years. So they did have a small market system. It was eventually done away when Stalin was kind of put in charge after Lenin died. Yeah, that's why we've moved away from feudalism, is because it stinks and it's terrible. And all it does is, like, keep people fed. It's just like a system of land management. Angie's birthday sounds like a lot of fun, too. Battler and Uncle are really lively. Yay! Yay! Battler got covered in cola. Maria One-chan peeked into my happy memory. As I sat quietly, wearing the origami helmet that Dad had made for fun, I was a little embarrassed. In my hand was a paper gun that Battler Oni-chan had folded for me, and Mom was taking a commemorative photo. Yeah, so land management is just about, like, who gets to work the land. In the feudal system, like, it's just set up that the peasants work the land and they receive protection from the knights and the minor lords, up to the major lords, up to the king, up to the pope. So land management is just who's working the land. Except whenever that feudal system existed, things started getting profitable. And with that profit came the rise of the middle class, the petit bourgeois, the cities. And with the cities came industrialization. It's the whole thing. It was the natural way of history. At least if you're looking at it in like the dialectical materialism sense. Not that I would really consider myself a Marxist, but... I think that's a useful method for analyzing a lot of European history. Mom was taking a commemorative photo. I'm sorry for people who are here to... I put the politics tab on my channel for a reason. I'm political. It was the happiest moment of my life. But your birthday's no worse, Maria One-chan. This is the day you get him, right? Sakutaro. Ugh. I was really looking forward to it. I got so excited, wondering when Mom would show me the wrapped present in the corner of her bag. Sakutaro is the name of a stuffed animal that Maria was received that day. Quite some time before then, Aunt Rosa had been making a stuffed animal to give Maria as a present today. Hearing that it was a cute lion stuffed animal, Maria One-chan had already given it the name Sakutaro. I wonder what that means. I tried looking it up. No, it's very interesting. Thank you, Sid. I need at least one person. Even though she hadn't received it yet. Today she was looking forward to meeting Sakutaro even more than her own birthday. Aunt Rosa had ran a clothing design company. It seemed to be some type of kind of brand name. Was it Anti-Rosa? Marxism just broadly is the greater social critique of Karl Marx. It's about like class analysis. Quit yapping. I yap, Kachach. Aliana knows I could just talk about history all day. It's very unfortunate. Maria's got her magic, I've got my history. It seems their catchphrase was, I can't forgive the me of yesterday. Unfortunately, I've never met someone who knew that brand name. Maybe it wasn't that famous. Yeah, I think Maria's not very... I feel like Rosa kind of sucks at her job. So Aunt Rosa was pretty skilled with her hands. I heard that she made some of the clothing she wore herself. So making a stuffed animal, I had to be well within her capabilities. Is it possible that Rosa has like a Beatrice dress? I don't know. I'm still not over the fact that who gave Maria the letter is still important to me. 4 episodes into this fucking game. A handmade stuffed animal. Pier was like a pirate in the 15th century. He raided like all like the Netherlands during the kind of like the upheaving time. It's at the falling of Frisian freedom in Europe. A handmade stuffed animal. It's pretty amazing. By the way, why did you call it Sakutaro? Ugh. Actually wanted to call it Sakura, but it's a male lion, so she made me give it a boy's name. I don't know. It was the start. I made this account at the beginning of this year. I just needed like some weird recreation. I like history a lot. I can speak some Dutch. I know a little Dutch. I speak a little Dutch and a little German. But it's a male lion, so she told me to give it a boy's name. Oh, to represent your nerdiness. Yeah, it's that bad. Unfortunately, the only Finnish I know is like Hakapalita. I know the Finnish national anthem. It's really catchy. I don't know the words. I know the song. Finnish and Polish hurt my mind. Polska Górom! Actually wanted to call it Sakura, but it's a male lion, so you should give it... Okay, why is it a male lion? Oh, because it has a mane. Not my smartest moment. So I added a boy like Taro and called him Sakutaro. Eventually, the last U dropped. Why Sakura? I do not know the Polish word for girl. Why Sakura? Every time a Polish person comes in my chat, it's always a good time. You speak Swedish even though you're from Finland. Oh, you're from Åland. Be like a Swedish Finn. Be like an Ålander. Ugh. The main character in Cardmaster Sakura. It was the name of the main character in a TV anime that was popular at the time. Or like that one... Oh, that one Finnish guy, Per Even Svinefud. Which I only know from Hearts of Iron 4. It was the name of a main character in a TV anime that was popular at the time. The fact that she'd simply borrowed the name of a character she liked was, how should I say it, as innocent and cute as you'd expect from someone that age. Yeah, I only know, I know English and like, I know a little bit of German and Dutch, that's it. I know some Yiddish too, but that's it. But I don't know like enough to speak fluently. I can read it okay, but I'm not great. But Europeans have it easy. Europeans basically have to learn English to survive. Mama, still no Sakutaro? I want to let Sakutaro join in on my birthday too. Presents always come at the end, right? If you open it now, it'll get dirty. Hold on until the meal is over. Then I'll finish eating quickly. Ugh. As soon as she proclaimed that, she started tearing into her meal. Aunt Rosa got mad at her, saying that was rude. It seemed that she'd expected this would happen right away. You may share some good news. I also thought, given how straightforward Maria was, that this probably was what she'd do too. So it was kind of pleasant when my expectations weren't betrayed. In the end, Aunt Rosa lost to her daughter's eyes, which were sparkling with anticipation. I know Russian, Spanish, English, and Romanian. Very useful. Mój ruski drug. I used to work with a Russian. In the end, I actually used to work with a Spanish guy too. I'm gonna run for mayor in my city next year. Oh, that's fucking pog. Hell yeah. What do you run, NDP? I don't really know what you'd run for. Independent? Which were sparkling with anticipation. I'm going to work for my city being self-sufficient as possible. Kick ass. Under an anarchist union, hell yeah. Took out the long-awaited wrapped present. Happy birthday, Maria. I wasn't able to spend much time on it, so I couldn't make it very well. Ugh! If you made it, I'd be happy with anything. Ugh! Sakutaro. Ugh! Aunt Rosa spoke a bit humbly, but Maria One-chan was happy even before opening the wrapping. I could understand that feeling. It's not a problem of quality. Just the fact that it was a handmade present was more pleasing than anything. Why did that flag? Okay, we do. I think maybe advocating for violence is bad, and that would be a tough sell. Can I open it? Can I open it? I wanted to wait until we got back home before doing it, but just for a bit, okay? I'm extremely non-violent, unfortunately, Eliana. I am, like, extremely not a revolutionary. We'll just take a look back and say hello, then put it back. You can give him a proper greeting once we get home. We're in public, so you can't fool around, okay? Can you promise? Ugh. Promise, promise. Oh, you told me that, I think. So can I open it? Can I open it? Mama. Yes, yes, just for a bit, okay? Yay, star. Before Aunt Rosa finished talking, Maria started unwrapping it. Yay, it's cute. She made that? Oh, it's so cute. I love you artificially boosting my view count. As soon as she did, yellow and orange peeked out. What appeared was a slightly blank-looking lion stuffed animal with cute round eyes and a white chest. It is really cute. It's about the size of a small pillow. It looked pretty big next to someone as short as Maria One-chan, but it probably wasn't that large. Everyone bought Pier, 1839. It would probably look like something cheap brought from a department store or something. But to Maria One-chan, it was her mother's handmade stuffed animal, the only one of its kind in the world and irreplaceable. That's so... Sometimes... Oh, what the fuck? It's so cute! This is so cute. How could she hit her daughter? How could she beat the fuck out of Maria when she's this... What the fuck? I guess she is 9. I don't know. I guess she just turned 9. I don't know. I liked stuffed animals when I was a kid. I'm not fucking hating. Sakutaro! Sakutaro! Rosa will really just be this nice to Maria for a second, and then the second something snaps, it's like, I need to beat my daughter. Many are saying this. Cute. Cute. So cute. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama. Thank you so much for making such a cute stuffed animal, even though you're busy with work. If you praise me that much, it's actually embarrassing. I couldn't take much time, so I couldn't make anything that good. It's so cute. What do you mean? I actually wanted to make one so big that you couldn't wrap your arms around it. No, this is good. At this size, we can always be together. We can go out together. We can go out together. Sakutaro, I'm your One-chan Uryu star. It really is an adorable stuffed animal. So this kid is Sakutaro, your best friend. My advice, just go for it. Why not live a little bit? I don't live a little bit, so I really fuck with that. Speak emoji, fire emoji, 100 emoji. Ugh. We can't go to school together, but me and my best friend are always together at home. You know, Sakutaro is really innocent and cute. Always nice to me. Hell yeah. He supports me when I'm feeling down, and plays a lot with me when I'm feeling good. So I'm never lonely anymore. Not lonely when mama's busy with work and I'm all alone. Not even when no one plays with me at school. Isn't that right, Sakutaro? Sakutaro, Uryu star. At school, Maria One-chan had lived in the same kind of environment as I did. Compared to the other girls in her class, Maria One-chan's tempo was always a little slow. Her sensibilities and ways of viewing things were a little peculiar, a little too idiosyncratic for her to blend in. I feel like nobody should be pro-tax, but rather taxes just have to exist, like in our democratic society. Her grades were low as well, and since she was talkative about everything related to the occult, her specialty, she was treated like a weirdo by everyone in class. If you were touched by Maria One-chan, be cursed, stuff like that. Yeah, more or less. Apparently, everyone in her class acted like she was disgusting, made fun of her, and avoided her. Oh no! If a boy bumped into Maria One-chan, he'd start rubbing that part against the other boys. Oh, she's like the cheese touch. That's so bad. As if he gotten some scum on him. They'd pick up her stuff like it was something filthy and chase the other boys around with it. Yeah, she has the cheese touch. It seems that girls thought even speaking to her was unpleasant. So they ignored her all the time, only giggling and sneering whenever she made a mistake. It looks like bullying is the same in all eras. Humans really don't advance at all, do they? If only they just get wiped out. I'm sad when I'm bullied, but I can't think it. But I think it can't be helped. It can't be helped? Why not? After all, there's a rule that says every class has to have a single bullied kid. That's a horrible rule. I like to find the person who made it and hit them over the head with a brick. Using the corner, of course. Oh, thank you, Angie. Very magnanimous of you. If I wasn't there, then there'd surely be a new bullied kid chosen in my place. By staying strong, I could protect that kid. As she said that, she smiled faintly. Maria One-chan's way of thinking really is unusual. Wow, that couldn't be me. According to her, from the beginning, a witch had resided in that place called a school. No, she says that any place where a lot of people gather will have a witch residing there. The witch tries to steal the students' souls through death by disease or accidents. Apparently, she sometimes also corrupts those souls, leading them down that path of evil. She says that an angel came, not content to let that continue. And the angel tried to finish off that witch. What is she talking about? That witch was powerful, and and the fight took 7 days and 7 nights, but even then it still wasn't over. The tired out witch asked for a truce and proposed this. I heard about that one before. Until now, I've made half of the students in the class become sick or injured. But in exchange, I've protected the remaining half of students from sickness and injury. I've never played a Fate game in my life. I feel like that would just make me melt. I can only handle so much anime shit before I just start, like, crumpling like a leaf. But in exchange, I've protected the remaining students. I think it is an anime. I think that's like an anime. It's like a gacha game with like an anime like side. I don't know. It's the type of shit my sister's into. Therefore, if one member of the class becomes a sacrifice to me and is made into the bullied kid, goodbye, Aliana. Have fun watching Fate. This part of Umineko is so complicated. Future Angie reads Maria's diary as a sort of flashback and then talk in a meta way with Maria in flashback. And then Maria in conversation remembers her own childhood with Battler. Yeah, I haven't had this many layers of meta since I've read House of Leaves, actually. House of Leaves has like 7 layers of meta shit. I think reading House of Leaves like could have prepared me for this game a little bit. See ya. Right? Ugh. The angel thought about it. Compared to the half of the class meeting with misfortune, having only one person be unfortunate would be much better. Then, the witch said that she'd protect the safety of all other students using her powerful magic. If there are 40 students in a class, and the 20 victims are reduced to 1, then 19 are saved. Hold up, this feels important. What if there's 20 people on the island and this is an allegory? This does feel somewhat allegorical. Ever played Lobotomy Core? No, I didn't. It's actually a reasonable proposal. I've never even heard of Lobotomy Core. I wonder if there's some theme behind this fairy tale. If it's a creation by Maria One-chan, a 9-year-old girl, that'd be pretty impressive. The angel decided to accept that proposal. So though a single sacrifice, 19 people were saved. That's why my role is important. This feels very meta-narrative to me. The witch is protecting 19 people. Because we become sacrifices? Well, I don't remember ever being thanked by those 19 people. This is so obviously about what's going on in Rokkenjima. Maria One-chan's idea was too compassionate. Both of us are suffering from a very similar type of misfortune. And yet, maybe a small difference in our way of thinking changes how peaceful our hearts are. So you aren't sad, Maria One-chan? I'm not sad at all. After all, I'll be together with Sakutaro from now on, right? Sakutaro? If I can be with Maria, I'll be happy too. Look, Sakutaro says he's happy too. Star. Maria One-chan hugged the Sakutaro stuffed animal, playing with both sides of the conversation herself. I don't understand it, but that's exactly why I want to reach Maria One-chan's level. So I was intensely drawn to her tale and her words. Angie, is it tough because you're all alone? Is it tough? But just the time I can be like this with you is different. Because I'm not all alone. Then if Sakutaro also becomes your friend, it'll be even more fun. Ugh. And starting today, Sakutaro is Angie's new friend. Right, Sakutaro? Are you? I am Angie's friend. What are you? Angie. Skillfully moving the stuffed animal like it was a puppet, Maria One-chan expressed Sakutaro's emotions. She was controlling him, but the charming way he waved his short hand and cocked his head to the side made it feel like he really was a new friend called Sakutaro. Of course, looking at it with cold eyes, it would only appear that Maria One-chan was comforting me when I was grumpy. No, it's really fucking cute. But a soul had definitely been sent into that stuffed animal. The soul of Maria One-chan's love. So I acknowledged the existence of a being called Sakutaro. This feels very fucking allegorical. For like Beatrice. Where you control something like the SCP Foundation, you gotta figure out how to take care of your anomalies. Okay. I kind of like go in and out of my interest with the SCP shit. I remember when I this is so embarrassing. I remember when I was first found out about the SCP Foundation. I was a little kid. I thought it was fucking real. Oh, I must have been like 12 or 11. I don't remember. It's so humiliating. I didn't think it was real, but I considered I I was like 50-50 on whether it was real or not, I think. I don't quite remember. Come say hi. Oh wait, come say hi to Sakutaro too. I'm Angie. Come say hi to you too, Sakutaro. Or is Angie a scary person? As Sakutaro timidly looked at me, he unexpectedly met my gaze and hid behind Maria One-chan's back in surprise. Oh, so cute. Maria One-chan really is good at playing with stuffed animals. It's okay, Sakutaro. Angie isn't scary. She's a really nice girl. Ugh. Hello, I'm Sakutaro. What do you? Pleased to meet you, Sakutaro. I'm dying. This is so cute. I'm Angie. I'm glad to have a new friend. I held out my hand as though asking for a handshake, and Sakutaro's short hand was stuck out towards me, lightly crouched, touching my index finger. After all, when a human and a stuffed animal shake hands, their sizes are too different. This greeting by touching each other's fingers was our handshake. Ugh! Star. Now Angie and Sakutaro are already friends. Two people are more fun than one, and three people are more fun than two. Ugh! Uryu? Sakutaro voice just dropped. It spoke to me. I've said it before, but voices either come to me or they don't. It's either like immediate and I click and there's no voice, or it's I have no voice for the character. Maria One-chan had given the name Sakutaro to the stuffed animal she was to receive on her birthday, and warmed and expanded his existence in her heart for a long, long time. Therefore, even before she met him, his existence was sublimated into a personality. That's one way to put it. Even at the first moment they met, they were already friends. Of course, that wasn't anything extraordinary in Maria One-chan's eyes. Although I don't think she personified and loved anything quite as much as Sakutaro. She loved the things she owned very much, treating them just like friends or beloved pets. Maybe Aunt Rosa hadn't let her keep a pet at some point in time, so she felt like treasuring objects instead. And maybe she was so isolated that she'd been forced into find a friend nearby. Because of all that, what happened that day wasn't anything extraordinary from her perspective. Even so, Sakutaro... No, maybe I should call it Sakutaro. I don't say it right. Like Maria One-chan. There's no doubt that Sakutaro was a stuffed animal. No, a friend whom she loved more than anything or anyone. I feel like this is like supposed to be allegorical as to like how worship of Beatrice works in a weird way. What? Why do they have a menorah? Hello, it's Mama. You're in a good mood. Is a friend over? Ugh. Playing with Sakutaro. Sakutaro, knock it off. It was already about 9 o'clock at night. Rose had asked because this wasn't a good time to have a friend over, and she'd just been a little surprised. But when she thought about it, Maria didn't have any friends who would come over to play, did she? Even so, to think that she'd have so much fun playing with that stuffed animal. Rosa was very pleased that Maria had liked her birthday present so much. Sorry, Mama can't get her work finished tonight. The next season's lineup is having a tough time. Looks like we're finally starting to get orders bit by bit, and I want to somehow give a bit more impact so we can answer to their expectations. So you're spending the night? Sure, okay. Your best, Mama. Really? Thank you, Maria. Thanks for being understanding about Mama's work. Rosa was surprised that Maria had accepted so easily that she wouldn't be able to come home from work. Rosa, having to tell Maria that she'd been coming home late or staying overnight was a huge burden. Maria would start crying about how lonely she was on the other end of the phone and took a lot of time and effort to calm her down. To think that Maria would accept it in such high spirits. Is this also thanks to Sakutaro? Rosa was once again pleased that she'd given her daughter such a good present. I'll make sure I come back this time tomorrow. Let's get dinner together then. You haven't eaten dinner yet, have you, Maria? Buy a bento at the convenience store and eat it. No sweets and no soda. I'll check the receipt and the change, understand? Ugh! Shopping with Sakutaro! Shopping with Sakutaro! Hey, no Sakutaro. Have him watch over the house. From Maria's manner of speech, Rosa got the feeling that Maria might have gone shopping with that stuffed animal without her knowing about it. Rosa's forehead creased, and after sourly saying that Maria definitely mustn't do that, she hung up. This is the least surprising thing that this is Maria's room. This is like the least surprising room reveal in my life. Is it a night? Great 35p. Thank you for chatting. Is it a crime to leave a 9-year-old alone? Home alone. It could be seen as neglect. Yes. I don't know. Maybe a little bad. But Rosa isn't exactly Mom of the Year. She's a little combative. Mama said I mustn't go shopping with Sakutaro. What are you? Can't go shopping with Mama. Maria, staying home alone will be lonely. Why did Mama say not to go shopping with Sakutaro? Ugh. What are you? I'm sure that if Maria sees you seen with me, it would be embarrassing. Embarrassing? Why? Oh, it's stigmatized in Japan? I think there was like this whole like reality, not a reality TV, like a TV show about like Japanese children doing shit by themselves. I feel like casual neglect is very welcome in Japan. Maybe that's why they have so many hikikomori people. Embarrassing. Why? Mama says not to take me outside a lot. And she usually says Maria can't do it because she's too old. Ooh. Ugh. But I'm not embarrassed at all to be a Sakutaro, right? I'm a lion, but I'm a stuffed animal. You're a lion and a stuffed animal, but you're my friend. So let's go out together, Star. Just like when Mama isn't around, as a secret. Ugh. You aren't saying that you're embarrassed, are you? I mean, she is 9. At least in the 80s. I'm not embarrassed, but the people outside are a little scary. Is that it? Then I'll make it so you can go outside without being scared. Leave it to me. I've got something that's really useful. Maria started fishing around her messy room. Rosa often told her to clean it up, but Maria apparently didn't like doing it. However, Maria herself knew more or less where everything was. So much so that if it were to be cleaned up, she would have... I'm exactly the same fucking way. I'm exactly the same fucking way. I live in my like clutter, and I get so used to like being in the clutterverse that fucking having to clean shit up is impossible. That was especially me in school. Like I just lived in that chaos of like my environment. I'm not like dirty. Like I clean my shit up. I don't have like I'm not like Asmongold or some shit. But I just really like having a cluttered room generally. Here it is. Hey look, Sakutaro, a knapsack. Maria proudly held it up high. Sakutaro looked at the knapsack, which was gaping open, squirming as though saying, "Are you serious?" Maria, you aren't saying. This way we can go shopping together, and Sakutaro won't be scared. Maria held Sakutaro up and started stuffing him into the knapsack. At first, she tried to stick him in head first, but then he'd be upside down and suffocate. So she tried pulling him out and tried pushing him in again, feet first. Tight, cramped, dark. Look, it's alright. If you stick your head out, it isn't cramped, it isn't dark, and it isn't scary. And it's a good view. You're right. Is it okay for me to go shopping with Maria like this? Yeah, it'll be fine. What should we get for dinner tonight? Come on, let's go out, Sakutaro. Looks like you're having fun, Maria One-chan. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Even things that would be lonely and boring alone have become fun with Sakutaro. Any human friend would have to go home when it gets late. But Sakutaro doesn't go home, so we can all be together all the time. We could be together all the time. He'll watch TV with me, be together even in the futon, and even hold my hand on scary nights when there's thunder. He'll chase away the monsters in the closet under my bed. Sakutaro is reliable. Since I'm a lion, I'll show my courage and chase away the monsters that scare Maria. Roar. They were so close that it made me a little envious. I'm supposedly older now than Maria One-chan was then, but Maria One-chan really is my One-chan, and I still haven't reached her level. If only I had a friend close by like Sakutaro. Sakutaro and I are your close friends, right? We're always by your side. It's just that your magic is weak, so you can't perceive us unless you open my diary like this. Perceive? You know some pretty difficult words, Maria One-chan. According to her, this world is full of magic and spirits, and they're as natural nearby as a light breeze. You don't normally notice or see the wind, but when incense smoke or something draws tails, you can see it, right? Right. And even if you can't see it, it's always nearby. I had to be right back again, I'm sorry. This will probably be the last time I'm back. But whenever this dialogue's done, I'm ending stream, so... Alright, I'm back. Let's keep fucking going through this. If I'm actually too seeing some of the dialogue ending, I'm gonna be so pissed. That's it. We're always really close to you, Angie. Gods and spirits and guardian spirits are always right next to us. But if you aren't conscious of them, you can't feel their existence. Like wind that can't be seen with the eyes. They certainly are near us, and if they draw tails in the smoke called magic, anyone can see them. I thought I'd only be able to meet Maria One-chan while this diary was open. But from what she says, she's always with me, and I can meet with her at any time if I truly desire to. Along with a record of my life, I left a fragment of my own soul in my... What the fuck? Okay. So the power of my magic resides in this diary, but it's very faint, so only you can feel it. Only I can tell it's there? Yes. After all, the power of a witch resides in you, just like me. If you study hard, you too will definitely become a great witch in the future. A witch? I wonder if that'd be fun. It is fun. If you do that, you'll be able to know that Sakutaro and I are always by your side, even without opening the diary. If you do that, every day will become fun. If you do that, I'll introduce you to many other friends. If you do that, every day will get busy and very lively. That might be fun. I do have the grimoire you left behind, Maria One-chan. I'll try reading it seriously sometime soon. If I do that, I won't be alone. I won't be all alone anymore. Right? Maria-chan and Sakutaro said that at the same time. Happy that I developed an interest in the world of witches. I love that. Yeah, I guess that's where I'm ending stream. Okay. Well, I guess after this. But I need a fucking break. Oh, I never even considered the fact that all these are filled up now. Because I forgot whenever I started the 07th mod. I took 5 years of German. I still know it pretty okay, but that's because like I like use it a lot. Somehow. But I'm also like a huge geek for this type of shit. But I'll be back tomorrow. But I think I might look into some more episode 3 shit because I feel like I'm missing something and that keeps bothering me and I'm obsessive like that. Bye, Sigmas. Stay on frame. Hold your frame, Sigmas. Goodbye.